All right, finally getting around to doing this. We'll fiddle through a couple things and we'll come back and talk about it a little bit. Okay, and this one also does have coil split. Obviously these are passive. They look just like actives, but the cool thing is we got one of these guys right here. The condenser mic's pretty good, huh? Had it laying around for a while, just don't do anything with it. Yes, we have one of these, and I have an 808 that's already been laying around, so can't go wrong with that. 81.8. I will put that in, and also change the string gauges on this. Also change the string gauges on this when I'm done with this. I wanted to play it with these passives though that come in it. They're not that bad. I don't really like passives, but they're not terrible. If you had to throw this together and go do a show or something, if you just got it, and it would work. Okay, let's do this real quick just for shits and giggles here. Let's get out of this and go to this. This thing did come set up decently out of the box. It came with a D'Addario EXL 140 set, which is, yeah. If you're planning on tuning down, then maybe, but those strings are so thick. It's, I immediately changed these, which I'll get to in a second. But anyway, there's your So there's a quick run through with it. You can see they're not bad. It is going through the IK Multimedia AX-IO. It has a few different preamp settings for passive pickups. I normally don't use them, but it does really help it. I guarantee it sounds way better than that Focusrite that I was using before, which I just use for a few different things now, but I don't use it for guitar into the computer. So anywho, a few... This bridge, I thought I'm going to have to replace that right away. Nope. Very good. Very good. I don't know if it's made by Goto, but it looks very similar to the 7-string bridges they make that look like that. Similar to a hip shot. It's solid. I won't be changing it. Now this, however, here's your original LTD tuner here that came on this guy. That had to go immediately. I can't tolerate tuners that suck that bad. But they will tune it to pitch. They just won't hold it for very long. It would work in a pinch, but no. These are Magnum locks. The real thing. The thumb wheel variety. I use both. I use the ones that unlock from the top and the bottom. I liked this set because it looks just like what came on there. So everything looks stock. Everything on this guitar is really, really solid. It's very comparative to the EC-407 of the 400 series that I have out there. Really close. Sounds just like it. Plays just like it, mostly. The fretwork was good. Nothing bad, you know. It was somewhat set up out of the box, but it will need to be set up fully. The neck was cranked back too far, so one of the truss rods was almost completely loose and the other one was cranked down, so I had to back that off and kind of even up the tension on the two. Once that happened, neck's perfect. No problems with it. As you can see, it is not the sculpted heel. It's a cheaper guitar. What do you expect? But I kind of think if you buy an 8-string that looks like an Eclipse, you kind of aren't really worried about that too much. You're going more for the look than anything. It is not a full 27 or 20-inch scale. It's a 26.5-inch scale, which does not bother me. Tension's holding up just fine. Like I said, that Diodario set is too heavy. If you get one, the best thing you want to do is grab yourself a good old one of these guys. Something like this. Or Ernie Ball or whatever. Just like a 9 to 42 or 10 to 46 or whatever set for the top 6. And then I use a 58 or 56. 60 if I'm going to leave it in drop A. Right now it is in a half step down. Here would be your regular E. I don't change the tuning on my bottom string. I don't change the tuning on it. I just change right now. Since this is in B flat standard, it would be. If you did that. Yeah, if you want to get one of these, you're going to have to do an upgrade on it. You're going to have to do upgrades on it, but it's a good platform. It's a good guitar to put a little money into. Oh yeah, there we go. For those that aren't aware of this, because I wasn't, because on my other 8-string over here, the tuner hole is big enough to fit a 74 all the way into it. This is not. These are not. The tuners that come on it do not fit a 74. They will only fit a 70 or below. So what you have to do is, we'll see if we can put that shot in here. You can take your clippers, size your string up to length, and then it should be taper wound. It should have 2 layers, the top layer and the bottom layer. I'd never had to do this before. Now I've done it on bass guitar, but I've never done it on guitar. So yeah, same thing. You can cut it and unwind it, get to the bottom, you know, taper underneath it, and it'll fit in this tuner. And that also includes the tuners that came with it now. They were the same way. It will not accommodate a 74. First thing I tried to do was to change the bottom string because it was dead. I don't know how long this thing been on a boat or whatever, but it was dead. So that's a consideration. Now, if you want to get some other type of tuner that doesn't look stock on this, like Hip Shot or whatever, I don't know what they're making now for. I always go with Go to Hardware. That's my favorite. And for ESP, it looks stock because even their cheap hardware is designed to look like the high-end Go to stuff, so that when you put the good stuff on, it just pops right on, no problem, no mods needed, no holes drilling. All the screw holes line up in the back of the headstock. Everything's perfect. So complaints about this, other than the tuners sucking, the pickups were better than expected. The board is a little bit dirty. I don't know if you'll be able to make it out. That's going to have to be cleaned up and oiled and all that. And I use a product called F1 oil. It's outstanding. You can use it as a cleaner, or you can put some on there, leave it on overnight, let it soak in real good, and then wipe it off. You can do it. A bottle of it's lasted me, I think, almost 4 years now. So that's the good stuff. But it's pretty good for the money. It's very, very good. And figure by the time you're done with, if you want to put whatever passives in it, it's already got a ground wire in it, obviously, because it comes with passives. I'm not going to have to put a ground wire in the bridge, or EMGs or Fishmans or whatever you want to use. You figure about another $350-ish, $250 to $350, give or take. If you buy this tuner set, it's $100. I think they're a little over $100 now, but so you'd be at about $850 with, you know, all the upgrades. But the beautiful thing is, like I say, I don't think you have to upgrade the bridge. It's pretty solid. So that is basically it. The nut is your standard polymer or plastic, whatever you want to call it. It's fine. 22 frets, not 24 frets. It's it sounds just like a Les Paul, you know, with a longer scale. So yeah. Once you clean up the fretboard, I thought the frets were going to have to be polished, but as I played with it a little bit, it just had a little corrosion on the front, but it came right off. So all you got to do is just clean that fretboard up with some oil and oil it and stuff. And it's a Hatoba fretboard. Never had one. Seems fine. Just a little dirty. You know, looks a little dingy. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But I don't think there's anything more I can say about it. I definitely recommend it if you're willing to put some money into it. I mean, you could, if you didn't mind the pickups, just throw a $100 set of tuners on it and you're good to go. You know, the pickups are not bad. They don't sound bad. I'm definitely not my cup of tea, but pretty good, man. Anywho, I'll quit babbling and get off here, but yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.